Episode 59 of Inside the Rapper Studio. I've been doing this shit for 59 episodes. This is insane. Tonight's guest is gonna be Smacky Chan. We're gonna go ahead and get things started real quick. Before we talk about a couple things in this episode, talking about Global Gleam's latest project, Alias, having a sense of humor and hip hop. Just a couple things, you know. Hopefully everybody's having a solid week and looking forward to closing it out on a good note. Still doing the giveaway for the hats. Next week I might do robes. Don't really know yet. Yeah. For those that's coming in late, I'm just doing a little interest music thing now. I don't know why I'm doing this shit. Smacky's in the building. All right, let's go ahead and get some things. Starts head. Hopefully everything's connected well. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yo.
You can hear me, Smack?
What's good with you?
Ain't much. All right.
Yeah.
Start episode 59 of Inside the Rapper Studio. Of course, I'm your host, Score F. Swayze, and today we have a very, very, very special guest in the building. He is Global Gleam general, artist, writer, content man, whatever the case may be, a man of many talents. So everybody, please drop hearts, drop likes, drop comments for the one, the only, X-Man.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, Smacky?
What's good, man? Ain't shit just cooling, you know. Just yeah, I glad I just bust this word before I clicked on this motherfucker.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Like, I was kind of preparing for things. I looked outside and I'm like, oh, well, it's storming and the sun's out. Well, you know what that means.
Yeah, man, you know, shit don't really stop for real.
Yeah, I just love when I get those signs of infinite. Love it. So for every episode of Inside the Rapper Studio, there's the origin story told from the guest perspective. So could you tell us how everything got started with the artist known as Smacky Chan?
Yeah. So shit, man. Job like I always wanted to be doing this shit since I was like a youngin' for real. Motherfucking just like always stalled on that shit though. I was always stalled. And I was like, nah. Like I tried to ask motherfuckers to plug me in, all that other shit. Nobody's trying to plug me in or like get me set up with the shit. So I just always stalled on that shit for real. And then I probably ain't really like take shit seriously. Cause I was always writing shit, but I didn't really take shit seriously till like I got to went to college and shit. And linked up with this artist, Big Bang Gotti and shit. And my man had like the whole stew set up shit in the fucking dorm room and shit. Whole studio, mic, all that shit in the closet. And he was like the first nigga to let me like record for real and shit. So once I started tapping into that shit, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta run this shit. And yeah.
And now we're here. So
Yeah.
with the work with Big Daddy, what did you learn from him from that studio session or those studio sessions?
Learned a lot for real. I learned how to record myself and shit. Learn how to like actually set up but your own in-home studio and shit, and like do a lot of in-house shit.
So in a sense, he kind of gave you that sense of independence early on with music.
Most definitely.
Got you. Would you say as though that, like, I guess the independence of the working side, such as like doing your own recording, doing your own promo, and doing your own paperwork and things like that, do you feel as though it's something that you pride yourself on, or are you looking to like kind of go otherwise in this side of your career?
No, I definitely pride myself on doing everything in house for real, cause I've definitely tried that whole outsourcing shit and hitting up other niggas studios and getting other motherfuckers to record my shit and all that other shit. But when you doing shit like that, even though you paying motherfuckers do the shit, niggas still be moving on their time for real. And that shit don't sit well with me. I be trying to get my shit done and out there when I want that shit done and out there, not when, yeah, like
When that,
treat my shit like it's your shit, not like it's just another fucking job for real. You know what I mean?
got you. So would you say that, like, I guess working with the other artists and stuff, not necessarily other artists, but just anyone else in general, kind of like depreciates your side of work?
Nah. Oh, you talking about like recording and shit?
Yeah.
Uh, Kinda, cause the shit don't come out the same or the vibe ain't really there as like when I do it on my own. It is a couple motherfuckers that I would like actually work with because we got that established, you know what I'm saying, that established vibe and shit for real. Like shout out to my man YTK and shit. He realized he establishing that vibe and that energy for niggas to feel in their zone and shit. So yeah.
Got you, got you. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about within this interview is a project that you dropped this year called Alias. So
Yeah.
tell us how you got the name and how you kind of conceptualize the project in its own.
Alias, the name Alias is just that. It was an alias ass project. My whole lifestyle alias. I'm always alias. You see me in the function, I pull up in the creek, you hear me. I be in the crease like a sneaker with that shit. Everything just be real sneaky, real alien. I move alien, you know what I'm saying? I don't really fuck with too many people for real. But I fuck with the people that's important type shit. And that's just yeah. So that whole project was just me on some alias shit. I never really dropped no music for real. I was doing shows, but no music dropped. That's alias. Like who the fuck is this nigga? Why is he on the lineup? Why is he on the show? That's
Mm.
alias. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just that's just like a lifestyle for a nigga type shit.
So it's somewhat of a declaration of like pretty much the life that you live, not necessarily being in the limelight, not necessarily being like this huge star. It's just like I'm me, and this is what this is.
Pretty much. That's Smacky Chan to a T.
Gotcha, gotcha. So the first song I wanted to talk to you about from Alias is actually the first song on Alias, which is so. Could you kind of give us like a spiel on how this song was made?
Say that shit one more time. How the song was made. Shit, man. Fucking I don't know. I just always wanted like my own little theme song type shit. And when I heard the beat, oh yeah, shout out K Go Live. That's who made the beat and shit. I got hip with him because he does like a lot of work with like Zaman, like a lot of like booming like DMV rappers and shit. So I reached out to him and shit, and I heard the beat, and I was just like, damn, this joint alright. This joint alright for real. So fucking I just heard the beat and the whole like the little melody just came to me off rip, and I was like, Smacky, shorty, and it was just like, yeah. So the whole hook was just shit I be doing on my day to day. You know what I'm saying? Being in the trap, busting swerves, just ride around with the pack. That was just all day to day shit. It's like a theme song for me type shit.
Gotcha. So essentially, you're making like somewhat setting the tone for the rest of the project, showing people what you're about to get for like the rest of it, like day to day, 24/7. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is how I am.
I want to say setting the tone for the project because the project is not like all over the place, but it's just like different flavors throughout that whole project. It's like different shit. I say the intro was just setting the tone, it's like letting you know what I'm about, like more so like uh, a quick little description of me type shit.
Got you. So an introduction, so to speak,
Yeah,
which is legitimately an intro, which is
yeah.
it kind of plays on its own words. Would you say that this is would be your favorite introduction to people to you? Because a lot of the times when artists like make songs and stuff, they do have like things they talk about, or they do have like their everyday life explained in songs. But would you consider this your explanation of Smacky Chan?
Pretty much, yeah. Between that and beef and broccoli, that's a good explanation of Smacky Shine.
Gotcha, gotcha. I wanted to talk about beef and broccoli because the name just kind of sticks out, and it's very like DMV. Excuse the I don't know like how certain people feel about that term DMV, but like me being in those like 2 years within it, like beef and broccoli kind of like sticks out. So
Yeah.
would you say it kind of like gives a depiction of that life within the area?
Pretty much, it's just yeah. It was like I was like, damn. I heard a beat and I was like, yeah, it's Smacky and Shawty, baby. I'm a walking pharmacy, which is like, yeah, I be in a. I'm not gonna try like say or expose myself as the yeah, I'm a walking pharmacy, like come booking nigga, nah. In the
Right.
past life, you wanna say in the past life, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Walking pharmacy, and it was just the gas pack moving. And I was just like, I was just trying to think of a fucking a simile for that joint, and I was like, beef and broccoli, that joint funny as shit. Like, and yeah,
And it
that's
does.
how that shit.
So the song that was just recently playing was the intro to Alias, the project
Yeah.
from our wonderful guest of episode 50, Smacky Chan. Smack, thanks again for joining me on this interview. Give a few shout outs to everybody that's in the building right now. Shouts out to Ocho Sincere. Shouts out to huge shouts out to Turfland, yo. I really gotta hit up Turfland like on the side for like his own thing. Huge shouts out to OK Man. Shouts out to Torian. Who else we got in here? Humble Haku, a previous guest of the show. Pretty
Yeah.
Face Jesse. Got a little live in the live. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about within this interview is quarantine content, because you've been keeping up with quarantine content, whether it be videos, whether it be TikToks, whether it be thrillers, or whatever the case may be. So I wanted to get your perspective on kind of keeping in the face of the people during this shutdown.
Yeah, the whole quarantine content shit is just like, man, fuck it. It ain't really shit else to do besides apply yourself and just put some more shit out there. You know what I'm saying? My whole bread and butter was just being out on the scene, networking and doing shows. But I can't do that right now. So I gotta still, you know what I'm saying, get my name, my brand out there some way, form, or fashion. So it's like, man, fuck it. We gonna run these motherfucking TikToks up. We gonna run up these story shits, man. We gonna, yeah, put some interactive ass shit out there. And you know what I'm saying? Let everybody fuck with that shit.
How would you describe the response to the quarantine content that you've been putting out?
People been fucking with that shit. A lot of people been fucking with that shit. Motherfuckers been wanting me to like send them unreleased shit, and that's not happening. I don't send unreleased shit. You hear me? I ain't gonna hold you. I be teasing my music like shit. I post a whole snippet out of that joint and delete that motherfucker in an hour just cause like fuck it. But it's like, yeah, man, everybody been fucking with that shit, man. It's good to see that motherfuckers like real life fucking with my shit, fucking with my art, because I really, it's like unexpected. Like I don't really be expecting that shit, but when I see that shit, I be like, damn, that shit real. I like that's love for real. You know what I mean?
Got you. One of the videos I wanted to talk to you about, or the songs for that matter, because I couldn't find it, and I didn't do like a deep look, but I couldn't find the song. It was the Jeff Hardy post. What inspired you to do that one? Because that was the one that caught my eye.
Jeff Hardy joint. Yeah, I posted that joint, deleted it in like an hour. But fuck it, it was just basically me trying to figure out like what should be next. Cause I got like endless songs in the vault, endless shit that I want to drop for real, for real. And I was just like, man, I'm gonna put like these three snippets out and see which ones everybody fucking with. And I was just like, man, all right, bet. So a lot of motherfuckers want that Jeff Hardy joint. So I'm dropping that joint tomorrow or like tonight at 12 and shit. So that shit coming out like, yeah, tomorrow. So, you know what I'm saying? Tune the fuck in. Go get that shit. It's gonna be on SoundCloud. Hopefully that shit make it to all platforms in time, but it's gonna be on all platforms tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then eventually, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. What's the name of that song, by the way? I didn't want to like give the incorrect
It's,
name.
it's called Smack Hardy.
Smack. Love the name. So you heard it here first, folks. Tonight, midnight, Smack Hardy coming to you live, streaming services. I hope everybody in this live checks that out. The next song I wanted to talk to you about in this whole thing was actually Beef and Broccoli, which is so rare because I kind of wanted to cover the song, but I didn't. But since you mentioned it, I was like, fuck it. Perfect timing. Tell us how this song came about.
Fucking beef and broccoli. Shit, man. It was just uh. I fucking finally got like a Sparking beat. I wanted the Sparking beat for like the longest, so I finally got one of them joints, and I was just like, damn. I was sitting that joint playing that shit over and over, and then the hook, the melody for the hook just came to me, and I was like, Smacky, and I was just like, damn. And then like when I be making shit, I be trying to put some memorable shit on there or some funny ass shit or some shit that's gonna be like, the fuck this nigga just say? And I was like, I got the gas fire boom, it's not like beef and broccoli. Like, who the fuck be saying shit like that? You hear me? So I was just like, I was fucking with that joint, and then not only that, but I was trying to like create some shit to drop because during that time I was throwing a show. It was Gone Global, Volume One and shit. It was a it was like a joint. Me, Haku, and Ronan's Round. We all collabed on that joint. And fucking, we had 4K Michael, Baby Callow, YTK, Vlad, Joey Bricks. Like, it was a real tough lineup and shit. And I was just like, oh yeah, we had Charlie Monroe and shit. And it was like a tough ass lineup. And I was just like, damn, I want to drop a song on the day of the show. The fucking, like, it's perfect. So I was like, man, fuck it. So then, fucking came, so I fucking worked on the joint, got the song done and shit. And ended up dropping that motherfucker. And I see DJ Nick on that joint, on his joint. DJ Nick hosted the joint for me and shit. Real solid nigga right there. And yeah.
That's crazy. I was just about to ask you about that. With the collab from DJ Nick and pretty much like the whole lineup of show drops and stuff like that, it really speaks to the testament of not just dropping a song, but actually having a legit like setup for a single or a project or whatever the case may be. Do you
Yeah.
feel it speaks to your testament of the hard work that you do outside of the studio?
Most definitely. Cause that's the whole kid. That's a lot of shit that like other artists don't do. A lot of motherfuckers just make music all day and drop songs and just hope that they just make it shit and just put it out that everybody gonna see it, gravitate to it, and just blow up overnight. But you ain't putting no planning behind it. You ain't putting no promo behind it. You're not putting no money behind it. You're not putting nothing. You just dropping shit, and it's like, fool, what you gonna do with that shit, man? Like, you just putting out music, and then your shit don't do numbers, and you just sitting there sick talking about some motherfuckers don't support, motherfuckers don't fuck with me. I'm like, bro, but you ain't putting in that work to get that fucking support. So you gotta plan that shit. You just can't make a song and drop it and just hope on the praise and shit.
Absolutely, you gotta give them the game like that because, like, honestly, they don't learn any other way. And I was really one of them. Whereas though it's just like you drop, like way back in the day, even when I was actually living in like DC at the time, when I was just dropping shit and just like it never really happened, and then like you kind of get that festering feel of nobody likes you. Like you don't even like yourself enough to like put the work in to like what I'm saying, give people a fucking shot for you to give yourself a shot. So
Real shit.
a lot of times give themselves that much space to like kind of work that well. Do you feel as though giving yourself that much space to work with your music gives you an edge? Because a lot of the times they kind of just leave it to management and all that stuff. But here we are in the Renaissance era, whereas though we do all the work. So does that give you an edge?
Most definitely, because I already know like a set standard that I help myself. So if I know how to fucking push the shit and do all the shit my damn self, if it's going to anybody else, then they need to be able to do some shit that I can't do. 'Cause at that point, if you can't do nothing that I don't already know how to do, then what the fuck am I putting this project in your hands for? And that's like the whole kill. Like a lot of people just give that shit up and just don't. Hey, like nah, you really like gotta put full force behind your shit. Like that's your shit, and it's only gonna do as well as the much effort you put into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. For ones that's just walking in, the song that was recently just playing was "Beef and Broccoli," one of the singles from our wonderful guest of episode 59 of Inside the Rapper Studio. And Smack, once again, thank you very much for answering these hard-hitting Team V in-based questions. Give shouts out to everybody else that's in here. Huge shouts out to Nakari Imani, just walking in. Shouts out to DJ Nick, a former guest of the show. Shouts out to Lily Live 99. Who else we got in here? King Fender, Big Art 91. Whole bunch of folks in the building. Really appreciate it. Next thing I wanted to talk about was your sense of humor. The first song I looked up, well, not one of the first songs I looked up, but when I was doing like my research or like production notes for like interviews and stuff like that, and I kept coming across like Rob the Plug or like Justin Big Joint, and it was like, all right, well, I guess the elephant in the room is here, so I'd have to talk about the sense of humor. So, could you give us your perspective on like how you use it within your music?
Yeah, it's just like I don't say I go for shock value and no shit like that, but it's just like when I make shit, I always want to just make some shit that's a part that's gonna stick in your fucking head or be like, hey, bruh, like the fuck up with this nigga, like, cause who the fuck is doing shit like this, type shit. So that's why I try to have a sense of humor. I try to fucking use old ass beats that most motherfuckers wouldn't rap on or wouldn't even think about rapping on or some shit. Like, who the fuck would hop on the fucking Robin Thicke beat? Like, or fucking Justin Timberlake sample? Like,
That caught me off guard.
like, exactly. That's the point, is to catch you off guard, to be like, hey, bro, what the fuck is this nigga on? And then that's gonna catch your ear off bucks, because you like, what the fuck is this nigga about to talk about? And then you hit a joint, you be like, oh yeah, this shit rocking. That's all right. Yeah. So.
And that entire point.
Yeah, so that whole like having a sense of humor and shit, it's just like at the end of the day, it's still an art form, but at the end of the day, you still put that fun with that shit. And that's just me having fun with it, cause it's just a great reaction. Like, I perform some of these songs in crowds and shit, and they hear this shit, and that shit be catching everybody off guard, and they get hyped as shit. It's just shit like that. That's what I be doing the shit for real, for real.
Gotcha. So one of the songs that has pretty much this entire vibe is Cry Me a River. I saw Cry Me a River, then I saw Smacky Timberlake. I was like, all right, I see where you're going with this. Then I actually listened to it. I'm like, okay. So take us pretty much the day you recorded the song, made the song, whatever the case may be, and tell us everything that kind of went down with this song.
I was just pretty much riding in the car for real, just freestyling some shit. And I was like on my timeline and shit, and I was just saying like all these bad joints and shit. And I was thinking like a lot of these joints on there, I got like a history with it, some shit. Like a lot of joints, like I did y'all like good in my lifetime when it comes to the legs. I ain't gonna hold you, but so some of them is like popping on Instagram, and I was just like, damn, like all my bitches, bad my hoes be popping on Insta, like they popping on that shit for real. And like the whole line, my ex bitch did me dirty, now I'm fucking his sister. Like, that's just some funny ass shit to be saying. Like, that's a wild ass, like you a wild ass nigga, you putting some shit like that. That shit funny as shit. But yeah, my ex bitch did do me dirty, but yeah.
Was that like straight time, or was that like an actual story?
What? Oh, that joint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Ex bitch did me dirty. With Smack at her friends. You know me? And then I was down bad, and you know what I'm saying, a lot of motherfuckers creased it on me. And it was like, all right, bet. And now I'm cold hearted. I be dolo. I be alias. You know me?
I mean, I respect it, honestly. That's the game we play. Hard. So the ones that just walking in, the song that was recently just playing was Cry Me a River, aka Smacky Timberlake. The song off of the project Alias from our wonderful guest of episode 59 of Inside the Rapper Studio, Smacky Chan. Once again, thank you very much for joining me today. Huge shouts out for Nigga Baby. Huge shouts out Vocal Beauty for joining us as well. Another thing that I wanted to discuss with you is we already discussed Global Gleam on the past episode of Humble Haku. Huge shouts out to Humble Haku, by the way. I want to get your perspective on the culmination of Global Gleam.
My perspective of Global Gleam is, man, that's gang, that's family. You hear me? Like that's me and the good minds, my brothers. Like, and that's just all our shit. Like, if 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 Haku driving, but we on that shit, we promoting that shit, we pushing that shit. That's just go for everybody in the family for real. It's just coming together and just all working together, but trying to put ourselves on and just look out for each other type shit. You know what I'm saying? We locally owned and globally known and all that there, you hear me?
Absolutely. So with Global Gleam pretty much within the ranks of like collectives or labels or whatever the case may be, um, what would you say is inspirations behind Global Gleam in terms of how you guys operate?
Inspiration behind Global Gleam is pretty much, it's just trying to be that person that niggas ain't have doing they shit dolo. You know what I'm saying? Like being that feature that niggas ain't have, or being that photographer niggas ain't have, or being that videographer niggas ain't have, or just, you know what I'm saying, whatever piece that you was missing when you was trying to do that shit on a dolo, just being that piece and filling in that slot for you. And that's
Got
literally just how that shit been running.
So pretty much the missing to everyone's puzzle.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So in terms of like how far you've been working with Global Gleam, what would you say is your most favorite with working with Global Gleam?
Most favorite moment is shit, man. Anytime we get to perform, anytime niggas perform, the whole gang in there, energy right. You know what I'm saying? We teed up, niggas. We in the crowd, fucking rapping each other's songs word for word, like it's our shit. Like we just going hard for our shit, and the fact that we just showing each other endless love and support. That just be my favorite moments. Anytime shit like that around.
Gotcha. I can appreciate some type of camaraderie in music because I feel like camaraderie in not really music, but just camaraderie in hip hop in general, it's kind of teetering, it's kind of dying, it's kind of like leaking a little bit. Do you feel as though groups such as Global Wing, such as you guys, do you feel as though you can kind of bring back the essence of whereas though rappers can work together and it can actually be peaceful and harmonic?
Most definitely. It's just I feel like a lot of motherfuckers want to be a superstar and want to be in the limelight and all that shit, and they feel as though working with another person's going to take away from their shine for real. But at the end of the day, if you self-aware, you solid in your craft, you perfected your shit to the motherfucking T, then you don't got to worry about that shit. You got to pull up, show up, do your pop, and that shit going to be noticed. You feel me? Putting the work, and that shit noticed. It ain't about no ego about, oh, yeah, they gonna outshine me or this person verse might be better than mine or no shit like that. At that point, you just being real insecure if you feel like you can't work with other people. But I
Got
can't, but I can admit you also can't work with everybody because some people do be shitty. They just unorganized or unprofessional, and it's like, man, it ain't worth it. Like, motherfucker, we locking in, we gotta lock in, not you be on no half-ass shit with that shit.
Do you feel like whenever you work Global Gleam and you kind of work elsewhere with other people and stuff like that, kind of see a reason why you only kind of like subside yourself within Global Gleam?
Yeah, just cause of the vibe and the feel, for real. And then like some people like work with other people have egos, and it just be a whole thing. It's like, or the creative ideas just be too different, and it just be clashing and shit like that. But it's just like, yeah, when I'm working with the gang and shit, everything just seem natural. It seem right. And then not only that, but it's like niggas ain't sensitive and shit. If I tell you, like, yeah, bro, like you can do this joint better or do, you know what I'm saying? Niggas won't get super butt hurt and then hop on the internet, be sneak dissing and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just about fucking bettering each other. That's really the point.
Speaking of the internet, I actually wanted to cover this topic with you in terms of like social media and how things work within the music scene, not just like hip hop, just music scenes in general. I feel as though when it comes to social media, a lot of the times artists kind of like create their own persona within it and create their own brand within it, and they don't really know how to socialize within social media. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's just I don't know. I feel like a lot of that shit probably play on ego or some shit, or they just be like they don't want to try to interact with motherfuckers that make it seem like they're too normal and take away that whole, you know, uniqueness and aura of being an artist and shit like that. But motherfucker, at the end of the day, we all human. You know me? So and yeah, like
Absolutely.
when you show love, you get love. That is what it is.
That's the truth. I feel like a lot of the times when it comes to like social media and stuff, it was supposed to be created to like unite people, but in times it separates human beings and it separates artists, and it kind of like causes more disruption within the work that we're trying to do. So, do you feel as though there could be any point in, I guess, the music scene where as though we can use social media to the best of our abilities, not just with music, but with like personal issues within the scene, such as like beefs or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, yeah, nah. Because at the end of the day, I say yeah because like that shit, like I said, what you said, that shit could be used today. Like a lot of people do use they shit, especially like during what everything else been going on in this wild ass world. A lot of people been using their social media to fucking inform everyone else, and I've been seeing that shit going on, a lot going on my timeline and on stories and shit like that. It's just been like a lot of spread of information, and that's a beautiful shit because a lot of motherfuckers not in the know. You know what I mean? You can't fault somebody for being in the know if they not seeking that shit out for real. But if it's right there on the fucking social media shit from whoever the fuck you like following and shit, you see that shit, you gonna tune in, you gonna be in the know. And yeah, and I also say no because with the whole beef shit and all that other shit is like it could be used to fucking fix the issue, but that shit always better done in person, in my opinion, because you really can't convey what the fuck you're trying to say through fucking typing and texting and shit. And believe it or not, a lot of motherfuckers' energy be real different in person. No funnies.
Very different. Very. Do you feel as though like, I guess after Corona or whatever the case may be, once like people get more close together and people kind of like pretty much start reuniting and things like that, it could be a better sense of like unity after this whole thing, or would it just be kind of like the same shit?
I'm gonna be optimistic and hope there's gonna be a lot more unity and shit. But at the end of the day, man, niggas gonna be niggas and we niggas for life. So if it end up being the same shit, then I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you.
I can appreciate an honest answer like that. See, that's why I appreciate honest interviews. Whereas though, like some people would give the flowery, like we can all band together. Nah, niggas is niggas. Like,
That,
and it is what it is. You know what I mean? I feel as though like we can put like a lot of stock into like change and how things are seen within musicians and uniting and things like that. But we're still human beings and we're still like faulty as fuck. So I don't really see it. I'm sorry. I would love to, but I don't. So next song I actually wanted to talk to you about is, ironically enough, a song with a bunch of not a bunch of features, but quite a few features. So it's "Run It Up" featuring Humble Haku and Big Bang God. So
yeah.
tell us how you guys came up with this pretty much posse cut of a song.
Pretty much, I just hopped in that joint. I was probably like fried off the erg at that time. I was on the ergs heavy. I'm 6 months clean though, you hear me? So yeah, fuck it.
Get the plug.
But nah, fuck it. I just heard the beat and it was just some simple ass shit. If you want to run it, you can get on it. If you want to run it, you gonna get on it. Cause I made that joint after I made Crushing and shit, so I was still in that type of mode for real. And as always, I be trolling like shit. So I heard the beat, I was like, yo, I got opened this joint off, just said some funny ass shit, and that's why I just said, what I say, como se dice, fuck them niggas. I put love and I'm serving the clock niggas. Like, the fuck, that ain't really about shit. But that, how we all came together on that joint. I made the joint, and I played it for Haku and shit. And he was just fucking with that joint heavy, and I was like, oh yeah. And besides, I needed a feature from him on the tape anyway. Cause I went by had the tape out, and I had my mans on that joint. So I was like, yeah, bro, if you fucking with that joint, toss the verse on it.
So you produced this too?
Huh?
You produced?
Nah, I ain't
Oh,
produce it. I was just saying, like I recorded my part already, and then
gotcha.
you know, when we record shit, you be sending it out to the homies for approval and shit like that. So it was like one of them type of things for real. And Haku was fucking with that joint, so I told him put a verse on that joint, and then Big Bang Gotti and shit. That's the good minds for real. And he just motherfucking him. We just always be chatting it up and shit, and I was just like, yeah. Working on my tape or some shit like that. And he was like, yeah, I gotta be on that joint. Yeah, niggas like send me a joint. So I was like, all right, bet. I sent it to him because like if you know him, you know that's his shit. Like he like always on mad time. I'm not a soldier out here for real. So it's like, yeah. I was like, I gotta get him on that joint.
Gotcha.
And that's how that whole joint just came together.
So with artists such as pretty much yourself, such as Humble Haku, such as Big Bang Gotti, pretty much working with like-minded individuals, do you feel as though like staying within that circle of like-minded individuals and working with them kind of keeps you short sharpened, so to speak, or would you rather like I guess work with any other kind of artist to kind of like diversify your portfolio, so to speak?
Uh I'm gonna say both because when I work with them like Gotti or Haku and shit, it just keep me on my shit because them like real life my brothers and like my fucking it's always like refreshing to see like Haku growth and shit because like he ain't start rapping till he like till we like start like crossing paths and fucking with each other and shit. So always hearing that growth and seeing how he developed and coming up with new sounds and flows and shit, like it's amazing. I love seeing that shit because truth be told, he worked harder than me. It's like when we first started that shit, I was always the one, boom, foot on the gas, just running that shit, and then I slowed up on that shit. He just seen the shit and just like ran that shit. Now he worked harder than me, got like way more songs than me recorded this shit. So I love working with him because it just like always keep me on my shit. And then as for Gotti, that's like one of my favorite rappers, like real shit. That's the like out of everybody I know as far as local rappers, that's like one of the few niggas I can really say that rap better than me or rap better than anybody I know for real, cause that nigga really be spitting like on some shit. So when I get to work with him, it just like allowed me to like really put myself on another level and step my shit up for real. But I also like like working with other people just cause I like having flavors for real. I don't really try to like box my sound done on one type of shit. I really just record whatever the fuck I feel like recording. As why as alias is like different flavors on that joint. So I am big on diversity and shit. Like hence the reason why I fucking rap on the fucking pop beat and shit. Like like so yeah. I'm all for diversity and pushing that pen.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, that was a perfect way to wrap up this entire interview in a nice little bow. I usually have like the whole scattered round, like it'll start off with a project and then it'll end off talking about why they don't think Bush should have like died or something like that. But I'm glad that like shit actually wrapped up pretty nicely with this interview. Huge shouts out to Smacky Chan once again. Thank you for joining me today and answering these tough, hard hitting TMZ questions. I'm gonna give a few last shout outs to everybody that's in here. Shouts out to I'm gonna say Monye, but I'm pretty sure that's not how I pronounce it. Shout out to Abnormal. Shouts out to huge shouts out to Black CR Fund. They are doing huge work within the community. Shouts out to Kayla Trinice. Shouts out Peace Russie. Who else we got in here? Shouts out Rissa. I'm pretty sure it's that way. So Smacky Chan, do you have any last words, any last promotions, any last propaganda for the people?
Last word. Well, first of all, let me shout out Global Glam, man. Shout out Haku. Shout out Abnormal, man. Big Bang Gotti. You know what I'm saying? All the good men. Also fucking Smack Hardy dropping at midnight. So check the fucking tune in on that shit. Stream Alias. You know what I'm saying? Keep running that shit up. But definitely check out that Smack Hardy. And other than that, man, I will say stay safe, but states get broken into. We don't break or bend over here, so I'm gonna just say stay smart and stay dangerous. You hear me?
Yeah, I love that. Who's it? Who the hell's in the back?
Haku.
Man, fucking Haku. Shouts out to Haku being in the background, being very
My brother, man.
so to speak. So yeah, still giving away these hats, folks. Still got these passwords to give out. Today's password is Erica. Erika. Erica. Collect all 5 passwords. Tomorrow's the last one. Get yourself a hat. Next week, I'm gonna start giving out robes because apparently you like hats. So I gotta up the ante for you little fucking rich kids. So coming back on Inside the Rapper Studio tomorrow, we have Zoe Stars in the building. We're gonna be discussing Zoe Stars TV, discussing working with YouTube, also discussing pretty much hip hop journalism in 2020 from the female's perspective, and that's going to be very insightful. I hope you guys check that out. Huge shouts out to everybody that came in the building, whether it's 1 second, 1 minute, or the entire episode. Huge shouts out to IG for not fucking up my episode. Thank you so much. So from your host, Score F. Swayze, and our wonderful guest of episode 59, Smacky Chan, I would like to tell everybody thank you. And as always, wash your hands and stay in the house.
Stop.
All right. Appreciate it, Smack.
All right, Slam.